Welcome back to the worst of humanity. So,
AKA what the hell, Square Enix, AKA whatever name of dev.
So,
AKA
guess what?
The Quiet Man.
Human has studios.
And now we're looking to look like a PS2 game with this.
You were saying, Shuri?
Actually, it's the Bloom.
Is it? What do you mean the worst of humanity? This isn't an LP of Twitter.
Hello.
I don't know, Shiro. Even Twitter gives me more hope than this game.
Alright,
Twitter
so
can give us
guess
clues.
what? We're introducing a new character. This bald guy.
Technically, we saw him in a previous part, but yeah, this is us actually formally introducing him.
Yeah. Try to guess who he is. Trust me, you will never guess who is.
Blofeld?
Oh, there we go. And here's a flashback with him. Now you're probably wondering, hold on, Pedro. You're telling me that not only is our protagonist Discount Batman, he also has his own Commissioner Gordon? Well,
The answer may surprise you.
the answer may surprise you, but I'll save it for later.
The truth is stranger than
So yeah,
fiction.
what this boils down to is that right after his mom died over a pair of shoes, no, I'm never getting over that.
Much like I'm never getting over the car.
Mom dying over a pair of shoes, you know what this sounds like? A plot point in something like Pulp Fiction or the British version of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
whatever was
it's
made
like
by
Tarantino without
Snaps,
the
yeah.
humor. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, you can make that sort of plot point work. Even if it is trying to play it off serious. The thing is like, well, okay, maybe if there were a theme of
What's that?
I was
Jumo?
I don't even
probably
know.
the name of the gang or something. Anyway, if you wanted to make a plot point about that, maybe make it about how life was wasted on such a meager thing. Because yes, such can happen in real life. Here's the problem, though. His mother's death, even for as much as they flash back to his mother's death has little to do with the plot. Yeah, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you made a Batman game.
So yeah, all that walking was very tiring. So now let's
Let's
rest by watching this cutscene.
Oh, goody. I'll just sum it up. Yeah, the fact that his mother's death has little to nothing to do with this plot just makes the fact that we waste so much time flashing back to it all the more painful.
Did we suddenly enter into the house of the religious nut from Heavy Rain?
Still no
Sing
idea
for
how
me.
that
Think
guy-
for me.
Is that?
How nice.
Oh, someone's obsessed with the singer.
But who? Oh great, another mom flashback.
And again, just letting you know, his mother's death will have little to nothing to do with the plots. How much time we wasted on this?
Well, that's the thing, Jova. This is all the protagonist has. That's all his character is about. He has a dead mom.
I mean, the sad thing is, like, when we actually do learn what is actually going on in the plot, they
Here
could have.
with my blood.
You know what's sad, Pedro? No, when we actually do find out what's going on, they could have tied his mother's death to the plot, but they blatantly chose not to.
Oh,
Alright, so we're going to reuse the same boss from the previous part.
why not? Well, at least it shows that our protagonist is learning from his mistakes.
Okay, that was another fine enough transition from live action to game.
Actually, that was in-game, Jova.
No, this entire thing was
Really?
in game. The only part that was live action was the flashback of the mom.
Okay, maybe that was an actually good rendered cutscene.
Like
then.
I said, Jova, I genuinely think the transitions between, live action and in-game are fine, but it's immediately after that the cracks start to show.
So yeah, the same tactic applies. Just keep doing what you did the first time.
I think I
it's
get
so-
what you mean to you.
It's
sort
so
of like
jarring, the fact that being a Square Enix product, it has the bare minimum high quality standard, but doesn't go nowhere after that. And as a result, it ends up being bad.
I mean, it's funny you mention that to you. It's like an inverse case, compared to the original Resident Evil, where, yes, of course, back then it was very obvious. The transitions between live-action cutscenes and in-game stuff was way more obvious. The difference is that for the time, those graphics actually looked top-notch, whereas here, while the transitions are more fluid, the graphics look like, they look terrible.
It's bizarre because the other two games that I mentioned, Mindjack and Murder Soul Suspect, on the graphic quality-wise, actually do work. They have consistently good models with the different facial variety and everything, and also different NPCs. So these takes these compared to the other two, this is actually the worst. Mindjack had the problem of having the Xbox 360 version ridden with glitches.
I'm clipping through
alongside.
him, and as I beat him, the crap.
Yeah.
And the Murder Soul Suspect had the problem of having barely any plot at all. Like, let me say, barely any, any actual gameplay. Sure, you do get to solve the mystery in a telltale kind of fashion, but it's honestly, I think it's less in gameplay than this. But honestly, I think compared to the other two, also this is the worst of the three.
It's
Really, even worse than Mindjack, which, okay,
I honestly
for reference
believe
sake,
so.
Mindjack went on
Like-
to be
like I
considered
said,
one of the absolute worst games.
Like I
And
said, when
absolute
you the
worst games of
PSP
all
version,
time.
the PSP version patched actually works. It doesn't have the crashes, the glitches, the clapping, and everything. It's
Now you just got the bad gameplay then.
It's
Okay.
still well. It's a normal shooter, Jova. The only major problem is that it pretends for you to play it in co-op.
Sorry,
and
Shiroi.
as a result, it augments the difficulty at some point. Oh god, it's so creepy.
This is your game over screen.
Like, did no one actually realize that they unintentionally had the uncanny valley?
You know-
with that.
You know,
just let the Cortex go game over.
you know.
Actually, that's Uka Uka.
No. To be
Cortex
fair
is
to you,
into
Cortex
Impress
also
too.
does that as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I prefer Uka Uka.
You know.
Over.
the big okay.
Oh.
Okay, for a
You know,
game
I'm
like
just gonna
this,
say this right now. For as BS as the difficulty was in Battletoads, at least the game over screens gave us the villainess who looked hot.
Hell, even King's Quest at least made it things softer by having the narrator mock you, you know.
And King's Quest 6 had that.
At least it gave you a good laugh.
it's okay. First of all, we have too much of a tiny space in this fight, and second, yeah, for a game like this, you shouldn't really have the whole screen goes grayer and redder the more you get damage. Now, you should have gone for a life bar. That kind of thing works for shooters, not so much for brawlers.
Honestly,
fair,
this is
a
even
lot
worse than
of
a
games
shooter
do this.
because you don't even know. We don't really even know how. Usually, when it comes to shooters, Yeah,
what was he even kicking?
I don't know. But oh, hold on.
And now somehow it, whatever. Moving on.
So, he has bested the evil Birdman cloak. God, that sounds stupid. So what's he gonna do now?
Oh,
More
Matrix
stuff.
stuff.
crotch kick.
Ooh! Ooh!
Joby, you do know there is a film called Birdman, right?
Yes.
Yep, with,
and that movie is way better than this game.
And that was it. Okay, I guess we'll move on like nothing happened. Okay.
What was that to say?
And no, audience.
And
Pedro
no!
did not skip, Pedro did not press the skip button. That was just a tiny clip of
Jova.
our protagonist going down the stairs.
Jova, even if first of all, my head just clipped for the wall. Ah! Oh, okay. First of all, Jova, even if I wanted to press the skip button, I can't because this game does not allow you to skip the cutscenes. If I could skip the cutscenes, this game will only be 20 minutes long.
So, okay.
What the fuck are these flashes? Stop!
Holy cat! You know, also, I can't believe I'm going to say this right now. Even Mighty Number 9 did the death scenes better. At least the bosses say something when you die.
Okay, for the sake of
I'm
saying
not sure
something.
if I want to take Mighty Number 2 again.
Okay, two things. One, for the sake of saying something positive. This is so far the longest period of actual gameplay we've had so far. However, I have.
Wait, that's a positive?
Well, it's the closest to a positive I can think of, Jova.
Also, a different model.
Okay,
Wow.
okay.
It's another minority, though.
However,
Yeah.
I had to take away that positive point because Did you notice that this place looks familiar? That's because this is that level with the arcade just reversed. We start from the end and we go all the way back to the beginning. They're reusing a level from the beginning of the game.
So, guys, let's put this into perspective.
We don't even know how he got back here. He just suddenly beat the Birdman and then suddenly teleported back here.
Also, that that guy's head went from clipping into the wall to now being over here because, of course,
Physics.
that cutscene.
Physics, what the fuck is that?
I've got a positive.
Go ahead.
God.
The game doesn't potentially brick your PS4.
Well, Dwebs, that's like what, the bare minimum? And the bare minimum of the barest of minimums?
So it's better than Anthem.
I'm just gonna say this right now, guys. Yes,
Roberto Azaro.
this game is even more cheaply put together, more repetitive, and more acid copy friendly than a Compound Heart game. I'm not holding anything back.
No, Jova. I don't think anyone will disagree with you there. See,
look at that, we're
there you go.
literally the same TV.
See, I told you. We're literally going all the way from the arcade back to the beginning of this level. They're just reusing the same level. They took a page from the Compile Heart book of tricks. How proud.
This is even worse because the levels are small.
Well, I've got an app comparison. It's like GoldenEye Rogue Agent half the time.
I never played that game, so I don't know the context.
Basically,
Okay, hold on, Dubs.
It has some of the similar problems. Too long levels, and you have to go back.
Hold on, Lisa.
You gotta.
Go fuck yourself in the ass.
Well, I guess that's
No,
one
no,
thing
no,
you
he
don't need hearing
No,
to tell.
it's Square Enix. He said, "Go fuck yourselfie."
But no. I don't think anyone will disagree with you there,
Also,
Jova.
the way he's stepping on his leg there is all wrong if he was trying to break it.
For all of its trouble, Jova, I can actually hear the characters talking for Offensive.
And that was a game where you had to tinker with the audio settings.
Well, true. Well, okay, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
No.
Also,
However, even on
notice,
default,
hold on, guys. Notice the model of the cop is the same one of one of the thugs,
Joe,
just with the police clothes.
holy
Tail,
cow, the police force has gotten rather progressive.
Tail,
Three
Tail,
black cops
Tail.
all in one set.
Tail. This whole video game thing is not cheap, okay?
Anyway, continue.
Again, they're making Compound Heart look like they show out the big bucks for all their games.
I'll be honest, guys. It doesn't even make any sense.
No, you're just now realizing this?
No, hold on. I want to hear this. Go on, Dwebs.
I mean, if the main character were in the presence of these guys and they were talking, but we can't hear him, it's understandable. But he wasn't.
Yeah, not
Actually,
only that, look at that.
He was eavesdropping from an angle.
You are under arrest for stealing shoes.
Oh my god.
Remember, hold on, Java. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt you there. Remember, it was the African American dude that shot the mom, not that guy, and yet he's the one who's getting arrested. You are under arrest for stealing shoes. Like, no, seriously, they arrested him for stealing shoes.
Guys.
Well, it is still a crime.
Guys,
Yes, dude.
again, holes.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, Pedro, theft is still theft. Like, you do get arrested for stealing.
Okay, but shoes. Okay, but how much?
Holes did this better.
Okay, Jova, but how many days in jail does stealing a pair of shoes give you?
It depends on the amount of larceny and
Well,
whatever
he's a
court you're in.
minor. I think if he's still a minor, I think he's gonna be, the
Juvenile hall.
yeah, like reformatory. I think it's called or something.
So, Tio, it's funny you mention... Hey, Tio, I gotta say this. You know how you mentioned that our protagonist is eavesdropping? Yeah, here's the problem. He's deaf, so how is he eavesdropping?
Hey guys, I have an idea.
You just
That's
thought
actually
of
a good
something that the
question.
director of
That's
the
a
game
good
himself
question.
apparently forgot. Pedro, how can a deaf person eavesdrop when he can't see their lips, so he can't read them, but he's somehow listening, even though he's deaf?
I'm not really a specialist on that matter.
Anyway, Dweebs,
Roy, any ideas?
No.
you were comparing this to GoldenEye.
Yeah, basically, GoldenEye Rogue Agent has a similar problem. Too long levels, and there's a lot of backtracking through them, and the combat's not very fun. Granted that you could hear the dialogue, but...
Also, the facial animation in this cop's face is terrible. He always has the exact same expression. Okay, guys, I had an idea. Maybe we can maybe try to live fan dub this game.
Was this made with the Unreal Engine 4?
Yes, it said that. It said at the beginning. It showed the Unreal Engine logo at the beginning.
Hey, guys.
Also, I think I realized, a small realization. I think one of the reasons why I can't manage to like the gameplay, keep in mind that the little one there is, despite the fact that it's over the top like in the Yakuza games, is because maybe the reason why I like that in the Yakuza games is because I like the character that they play as in those games.
Well, obviously.
This guy is the personality of a loaf of bread, so even if he does all those over-the-top stuff, I'm not really caring or invested because it's this guy who does it.
I mean, if the gameplay is good, hopefully.
And keep
that
in
should be
mind,
a factor.
people tend to say that Kazuma Kiryu is way too goody-goody despite being a beast in gameplay-wise. So that's a bad comparison.
Oh,
guess
guys, hold on, Jova. I'm gonna have to interrupt there. We established something. You know the African American dude that's his friend? His name is Tay.
Are we sure that that's actually his caller ID, though, and not
No,
just someone
no.
else?
The end of this scene will make it clear, Jova.
Fair
That's
enough.
what the homies call him.
Oh, wait, it's this scene. Okay.
Oh no, it's this scene.
Oh,
Prepare
I think-
yourselves, because the plot is about to
Yeah.
go complete nuts.
Yeah, the game is about to throw a huge red herring.
Look at that, guys. He has a bird mask, so maybe he was the bad guy he's been fighting. Nope. Nope. Are you
Like,
even trying?
It takes literally a bunch of seconds to understand that this plot twist makes no sense.
And I kid you not, guys, that's what the story's trying to present. It's trying to suggest that our hero is really the villain that he's been fighting.
Hold on. Look at his face.
Wow, he really does
Oh,
look
no,
like Dane
no,
DeHaan.
no.
Oh no, guys, this woman that we barely knew that he barely knew may be in trouble? Oh no, it's because it reminds him of his mother who got shot over a pair of shoes.
And suddenly he wakes up here.
Okay, but why though?
So,
okay,
wanna
so-
try and make two heads or tails of what's going on?
Jirai?
Nope.
I think
Okay, the basic
Wow.
gist of it is that the last half hour of the game was an hallucination, apparently.
Huh.
Why? I don't know. And believe it or not, this is not pointless. It's not really coming up with anything. It's just the game finding a way to pat itself out, basically.
Oh no,
There you go.
guys.
There you go. Apparently
Killed
he.
John Travolta, apparently.
No, actually, that one's not there because we have to fight him later in the game anyway.
Oh, he looks just like him. Maybe reused assets.
Well, it was a live action scene. You can't. So unless they're using the same actor, I don't know.
I mean, when he woke up. But actually, would you be surprised if they're using the same actor?
Nope. There he is.
What the fuck are you looking at? Oh,
Oh, never mind. I guess he did.
I think
punch
that
him.
is him. Yeah, I thought that was him.
Whatever. And there you go.
Oh
See?
no, I must do something with my phone? No, seriously. His arm clearly moved after he supposedly
was he calling
died.
his bed?
Uh-oh, is it on a live stream?
Low angle. And he punches the phone.
So, maybe I would care more if I had any idea about our character, but because I can't hear two hoots of what's going on in the audio, I don't really care. I'm able to piece together that he's supposedly friends with these guys, but even still, for all I know, they're actually just partners who are, I don't know, forced to be with one another. Like, maybe they hate each other.
But Jova, communication beyond words.
Well,
Jova?
bad communication can lead to misconstruing stuff. Speaking of which, it turns out the singer is apparently still alive despite the blood on the dress he saw from what may or may not have been a hallucination.
Just ignore that.
You know, Jova, I forgot if I said it already. I really can't wait to see this Square Enix property being represented in the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Yes, why not?
Can you imagine?
We'll have Ellie Joel Osment play live action Sora.
And having Donald and Goofy beating up minorities.
Hello?
I just don't know. Yes, Dwibs?
What did I miss?
Basically, Dwibs, the last 30 minutes of the game was a hallucination. He saw a white dress covered in blood, and now we have the scene suggesting that he killed all these men, including not John Travolta. And there was a call from Tay, who's actually the black guy who may or may not be his friend. And yeah, most people are dead.
There you go.
But
There you go. See? There you go. See? Now you're about to see him. Hold on.
FaceTime someone.
There you go. See, there,
yeah.
there you go, Joe. But thanks to those telephone screens, we established something. Our protagonist's name is Dane, and his friend is Tay. There you go. We established the two names of these characters. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
he's angry as he punches the seat. And
So,
Guys,
Guys, again, we're not even in the perspective of the deaf guys. Is it the dialogue being muted here doesn't make any sense?
No, guys.
Allow me to
guys, you just saw the ending of Infinity War and was pissed because
Okay.
Black Panther was the one who gets dust.
Okay. Let's guys. Let's recap. We're 1 hour. Tunneling dirt. Let's recap. We're 1 hour and 20 minutes into this thing. And so far, what has been established? The club is called Moonrise, and the two main characters are called
Hey
Dane.
guys, we're in the subway again.
Yeah.
Expect delays.
Expect delays. Yeah, sure.
Emergency.
Oh great, more
And-
minorities.
oh my God,
More
where did
minorities.
you guys come
More
from?
minorities for me to beat the crap out of. But anyway, the point. The point is, yeah.
Oh my God, it's the same bandana guy too.
Joe, we've established this. There are only 3 people all in the world, and they've all been cloned 1,000,000 times. Okay. The basic point is, we're 1 hour and 20 minutes into this. 1 hour and a half at this point. 1 hour and a half into this crap, and we've only established that the club is called Moonrise, and the protagonist is called Dane, and his friend is called Tay. And I guess that was the gameplay part. Back to cutscenes.
We still don't know how the cop is called.
But guys, our protagonist's name is Dane. We're learning stuff.
Also,
Great! Another mom flashback.
Jesus.
You know, I know it's a slight nitpick, but can I mention how I really don't like how this game stoops to that usual trick of, oh, look, faded background. I'm sure nobody will notice that there's a queer light overlay. Jesus.
Also, like I said, what I appreciate the fact that we're trying to recreate kind of like of a cyberpunk feel by having the game. Hold on, by having the game being constantly set up at night with the neons flash all over the place. It's still jarring to see all of this happening in just one night.
Tio, how do you know this is one night?
It is. The behind the scenes video they established that this entire thing takes place during one night.
You know, we might as well comment on that behind the scenes things, if only because just to see. I mean, somebody.
Yeah, it's only a 10-minute video, yeah, if you want.
I have to wonder, was anyone passionate about this project?
Shiroi? Jova was wondering about if anyone was passionate in the making of this game. You were saying something the other day when I showed you that video. Go ahead.
Yes, Pedro actually did show me the behind the scenes, and yeah, it seemed like a lot of the staff actually were. Too bad it didn't translate.
So what about the actual director himself? But who's the Japanese guy in charge?
The director. There's no the director. They don't actually mention the director. They just mention the producer and concept creator, Kenshi Fujisaga. Basically, he's a Square Enix.
They consulted about the.
And guess what, Joe? Believe it or not, this game actually did have a sign language consultant. Who's a.
Oh yeah.
So apparently they did get someone from the deaf community to consult, and yet somehow they still botched this up. So apparently
they shouldn't have gotten only just one person.
So
they did get one person.
So basically, so what you're telling me, Sheer, is that it's a deaf guy that doesn't know how deaf people work.
Well, okay.
Well, no, it's not that. What it is, and a lot of media has this issue. They believe that, you know, a condition is this and nothing else. Whereas, again, most conditions are on a spectrum, so it is different for everyone. Like,
but the sign language consultant on the thing said the same thing, though.
Well,
they
okay.
probably should have consulted a group of deaf people.
Yeah. Let me compare this to Last Airbender, Pedro. You remember how a lot of people threw shade at M. Night Shyamalan for trying to suggest that all of Asia is just one language, when in reality, Asia is like a whole different set of languages? That's kind of what it is with conditions like deafness or whatnot. Like, and here's the thing: not all deaf people communicate via sign language. Some deaf people actually have interpreters or whatnot. Some people actually use hearing aids. You know, those that can afford them. Some deaf people purely rely on reading lips and hearing vibrations. And again, some deaf people don't even need to learn this stuff because it's just a muted sense of hearing. So, I mean, like Jerry said, it's like if they got, like, say, an Egyptian to try and represent the entirety of Africa. Like, no. Just no.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Really? They seriously tried to suggest that Egypt's all of Africa?
People about
You'll be surprised, Jova, what Ubisoft tries to do these days.
You know,
in
it's
the
funny how
meantime-
Ubisoft botched up the Assassin's Creed project that takes place in France, the worst out of all their Assassin's Creed games.
But in the meantime, just saying, since I'm checking IMDb, aside from Man of Action, all the people involved with the writing, Curtis Lewis, Kensei Fujinaga, Mike Flynn, and Trent Cornwell, basically this is a first for all of them.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows.
You know, Sonic Forces had newbies, and it was nowhere near this bad. What happened with
It's,
this project? This
Jo-
project is a... Sorry, go on.
It's okay. I'm starting to think that even though I'm starting to think that the creator of this game, really hates the Latino community, because how many Latinos have I beaten up at this point?
You know, I'm gonna say what I said with the Venom movie. This video game is a crime scene, and we're the detectives trying to figure out who the heck murdered it. Like, look at this. Does anything feel alive in this
Look
game?
at my boy. They massacred my boy.
Like, again, I know Square Enix have occasionally chugged out the absolute bottom of the barrel before Lightning returns, but this, even again, like I said, even for $15, this game feels like robbery. I'm sorry, this movie feels like robbery, because if I recall correctly, we're about to get another overly long.
Well, to be
Never
fair,
mind gameplay.
to be fair, Jova, so far this part 3, has been the most gameplay heavy one so far.
Yeah.
Still, you can't be careful. Also, we seem to have stepped on to
car.
EA's direct showing of the crew.
Actually, the crew is a Ubisoft IP. If you want to say EA, you can go for Need for Speed
Yeah,
or
Need for
Burnout.
Need for Speed. Like, remember how, I think it was E3 2015, we saw
Riders on the-
such
yeah,
a pretty
a
good
car
Need
on
for Speed
stage.
game. Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Holy cow, EA did
A
that before
new
Microsoft
car.
made it a meme. Which they finally ended last year.
Why are they showing the clip of the shoe thief? What does that have to do with me beating up people here?
Because he was also Latino?
I guess he's venting his rage from somewhere.
Wow, this just became all the more unhealthy.
Mom!
then.
By the way, Shiroi, did you
But
know
this
that?
whole thing is unhealthy.
Hey, Shiroi, did you know that Dane's mom died? You know, just in case, just in case you didn't get it yet. You know, because
I must have been away when that happened. I really don't. I really couldn't tell you.
Pedro, I forget. There was a black guy and a Latino guy there too, right? Oh, could the game please show me again? So now
I
you don't
think
want
we need
to?
a refresh.
sorry, Jova, but this game is
Okay. Sorry, go on.
sorry, Jova, but this game is way too racist for me to even comprehend. Oh, and I died again. All right.
You know what that means, guys?
It seems, Pedro, that you don't know the input for the special moves.
Well, Teo,
Wakey,
maybe.
wakey,
Well,
wakey,
Teo,
wakey.
maybe Teo. If the fucking game taught me how the combat
Well,
works, this
well,
wouldn't be a
well,
problem.
Hey,
Last minute
Pedro,
solutions, smash all the buttons at the same time and see what happens.
Teo,
Pedro,
hold
Pedro.
on, Jova. Teo, I'm assuring you, I'm trying different types of combinations with the square and triangle, but it always boils down to just punches and kicks. That's the
You
problem.
tried circle and X.
No, the circle doesn't do anything. X is dodge, and that's it. The circle does nothing. Go ahead.
Pedro, I
check
don't know what you're
the-
talking about. The
the
game
visa.
clearly showed at
Oh
the
no,
start
mind.
of this-
Circle is grab. Sorry, I forgot. Circle is grab, but I tend to not use grab because, whatever. It doesn't really change much. But go ahead. You just grab and punch, or you grab and kick. That's the basic gist of it. Go ahead, Joe.
Pedro, I'm surprised at you. The game clearly showed at the start pictures of neon light.
Yeah,
Pictures of
yeah,
a
but
guy
yeah, but here's
doing stuff, and surely that should be enough because we're deaf, and deaf people can only comprehend stuff through pictures.
Here's an idea. Have the first level in the game have this thing where it shows little button prompts explaining to me what each thing does.
Not only that, but are they suggesting that deaf people can't read? Like, what's the point of showing it just through pictures or whatnot?
Because it's minimalistic and artsy, Jova, don't you know?
Hey, yeah, artsy, yeah. That's a good excuse for when stuff just looks badly.
Yep. Wow, I love how this guy can go from being down on the ground to being right up in the span of a jump cut.
That's not the guy we were beating up.
Wait, what happened to the guy I was beating up?
He went on break for a bit.
No.
And he leaves.
Is there any particular reason why we're beating all of these people?
Oh no, does that mean they
I know that we're looking
Because
for...
this guy can't afford a therapist, apparently.
No, remember, Shira, we're trying to find the woman that was kidnapped. But I failed to realize how beating the crap out of minorities getting us any closer to our goal.
Maybe it's a completely different plot. Can you imagine if Metal Gear Solid tried to tell as intricate a story as it does in this manner?
Well, it wouldn't work because the stories of Metal Gear are very involved, full of concepts and verbal explanations. So obviously,
But
it wouldn't
Pedro,
work.
what if Solid Snake was deaf and could read lips? And shouldn't you be able to do the same?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the logic this game's throwing at us.
It's like I've said before, this wouldn't be a problem if the story was made and written around the lack of audio, which it clearly wasn't.
Not only that, but even still, it's a lame excuse either way.
All right, everybody. Hopeful. Okay, guys. Guess what we're gonna do next in the next part?
Watch cutscenes and beat minorities.
Very good, Tail.
Yay!
You get a gold star.
Do you think we'll finally get to see that mother dying scene?
You think we'll also get to see the reason behind her death? I can't remember it. Something
something shoes. Anyway, see you for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
then.